think the answer to this actually depends a lot on circumstances, and this is where wisdom is needed. There's a difference between an evangelistic opportunity because you're on a mission team and doing something that's evangelism like that. The difference between that and evangelism to a friend or particularly a family member. Two thoughts I would have, they might sound contradictory, but on a kind of an opportunistic evangelistic encounter, whether it's a mission team or you're on a bus with someone, and maybe they've asked a question of what are you reading, or maybe that little book I recommended John Lennox says, he says, good question asks, do you have any hope? And an opportunistic thing like that, if someone's not interested, I think that's the time to leave it. You know, someone, I don't know who, someone famous said that they prayed that the Lord would lead them to those who were seeking. Maybe Helen Roosevelt or Corrie ten Boom, someone like that, and that's a good prayer for going on a go team actually. The Lord said to Paul as he went on his go team to Corinth, I have many people in this city. You know, he had his elect. Pray, Lord, lead me to the ones that you've chosen. And then you think, well, if that door is not opening, that's not the time to force it on a total stranger. But maybe I'd say there is a time with a total stranger, maybe the conversation's gone a wee bit and you want to fire a challenge, and you can do that, you're not going to see them again. You're not seeking to make them cross. There's another author uses the illustration of putting a stone in someone's shoe and it stays in their mind, and it could be 10 years later they're talking to someone else and they start to do Christianity Explored or something like that there. And there's a time when actually, because you have no personal, you're not going to see them again, you can come in something really hard hitting. To unsettle, not to make them cross, but unsettle. So that's the opportunistic. You're saying that to family, and you're witnessing to family. You can't do that the same way. You've got to live with them, and you've got to respect them. And witnessing to family or friends is a long game, as Daniel says. It's exactly right. You've got to be patient. But also, you have to speak to them. You can't just sit waiting for an opportunity all the time. There's times when you will have to speak to them. And I think that's more likely to come about in a sort of situation where maybe they're in some sort of difficult situation. Like we have a friend, our family are unbelievers, and you know, there's a few things that are just messy right now, and actually she's at the point of witnessing to her family where the right response to her is, or to her family is, well, we've talked a lot about this, and God says you have to do this. So the short answer is it depends. And there's some examples. It's taken me a long time to see some of these things and learn these things. I'm not an expert, but that's just my experience, our experience. And particularly in village ministry, we're playing a long game. We're talking to who's talking to at the time about that Toby maybe. You know, I sometimes look on a bit envious about other ministries where they're out doing street outreach and people are just asking questions and people are hearing the gospel for the first time and are really engaged by it. That's not really Cloughnills. There's not many Somali refugees wandering around Cloughnills. It's just a different type of ministry.
I suppose it's so important to remember that whether your conversation is shut down immediately for who you talk to, or you talk for hours or over a number of weeks and months, that it's not us that really does the work, like it's Christ, and we need to continue praying for them. As Josh was saying, God can use any conversation, no matter how well we think it went.